Shaman deck with the Spirit Echo. So it's going to be control versus control. And I kind of have to say I didn't really expect anything else from these two players.
But looking at the starting hand, Arneej has two very expensive cards. Of course, a Think from Below can be very well deducted, but it'll take a few turns to get that into effect. And so far, he can only throw up his 0 power, whilst Sjoesie has a bit more to work with.
Is he going to throw up a 0 power? It must feel bad, man.
Yeah. Whoa, so weird when you're also running Think from Below. Of course, being a shaman, it's all you want to do in life.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Looking
So
at this matchup, how would you rate it? Who would be more favored?
it's very tricky to say. It really depends on the tech that Sjoesie runs. I don't think he runs at least Trailblazer, so he doesn't have the infinite back value, which you kind of need against a greedy deck as Arneej has. But maybe Lyra can pull him through. So I guess this might be slightly favored for the Shaman, like 55-45. That's what my guess would be.
So it will be very close, but we now see Sjoesie already thinking very long and hard about his third turn, as they've didn't do anything in the first one, both of them. But we already see the Radiant Elemental, the priest kind of Sorcerer's Apprentice, just chilling out, clearing one. And would you maybe throw up the Shadow Word Bane, or would you keep it in your hand?
Well, I think Sjoesie is thinking that exact same thing here. Like, should I use the Bane on the 0/3? You really want to kill it because if it draws like 2 cards or 3 cards, and it gets way too much value, and you will be behind too much. So yeah, he decides to go for the Shadowed Bane and actually uses the second Radiant Elemental as well. I'm not sure why. I guess just to create board presence, because he doesn't have any spells in hand otherwise.
Yeah, and actually a Lightning Storm being picked up by Arneej. If he really believes in the heart of the cards, he can of course use it to clear the board.
Yeah, if he expects a double high roll, then that's a really good play. But
chances are very small though, so he'll actually go for Jade Lightning and actually clear one, get his first Jade Golem on the board to see if it will stack up higher and higher as the match progresses.
The only way to get a guaranteed kill on one of the Radiant Elementals, and here we see actually a really good pickup for Sjoesie, because he still has the board. He can trade and then heal his Radiant Elemental while having the Northshire in play, which draws him a card. And in a matchup like this, you really want to get the value cards, especially because Sjoesie is running a combo deck. So as soon as he gets his combo pieces, the better. However, he decides not to make the play that I would have made.
Well, there's so many options. He had a lot of cards that he could have thrown out, and he decides to go for the Tortulon Shell Razor. Very beautiful art piece that is. And we'll see which minion eventually gets buffed. He's probably banking on the taunt, preserving his Radiant Elemental, then going to heat it up next to it, unless if something more, well, beautiful comes down to throw up. But now we just see another totem from Arneej coming out, Think from Below, to actually get some board presence for once. And, well, he's actually hovering over it, but not quite sure about it. I think it's probably the best option, because then you actually have something to go with instead of being on the back foot the whole game.
And as I said, I'm not sure if Sjoesie runs a Elise Trailblazer. Well, he does. So the value problem has largely been solved. And I think the reason Sjoesie didn't play the Northshire Cleric last turn is because he wants to combo it with a Pyromancer and maybe a Circle of Healing that I'm pretty sure he's also running in this deck.
I wonder.
And combined with the Acolyte of Pain will just give you loads and loads of cards. However, this turn is rather awkward because there's a 5/5 on the board. So here he goes anyway, drawing a card, hoping he gets a Shadow Word Death from the top. And that's not a Shadow Word Death, however, it's a free draw, so might get another Shadow Word Death.
Yeah, and he can also buff his Shell Razor with this, which will prevent him from dying from the minions that are already on board. Of course, Arneej has some spells to do some stuff as well, but...
yeah, so maybe it would be smarter to actually buff the Radiant Elemental, because it's really important. Oh, wow.
Actually clearing the 1/1.
This is going to be interesting.
Divine Spirit being picked up, so if he wants to go full ham, he can do whatever he wants.
Look, so this is kind of what I expected him to do, going ham with the Pyromancer. However, he didn't get to play the Acolyte, so he kind of loses value there. But yeah, this is a really large Turtle and Shell race already, and there's the Divine Spirit and the Shadow Visions now in the hand of Sjoesie, so we might see the combo rather quicker than sooner than later. That's the right expression.
Yes, indeed. And now we see Arneej just throwing up Aya Blackball, one of the silliest pandas in my opinion. Just standing there with some weird vine with a arrowhead on top.
Isn't it bamboo? Like it should be bamboo, right? Because all pandas eat bamboo.
Oh, it actually looks like bamboo, yeah. Like it was lighting up green when I looked at it, so I figured it'd be just that little green vine that you see around, also flying around and stuff as well.
Blizzard is stereotypical enough to make it to make it bamboo. Okay, so Sjoesie decides to heal first, draw a card, and then oh, there's the Circle of Healing that I kind of expected in his deck.
The Pyromancer is already gone, so.
Yeah, I personally prefer to heal the Turtle and Shell Raiser, I think, to get more value from the Divine Spirit. But I think that he won't be playing. Oh, he will probably trade Circle of Healing and then Divine Spirit.
Well, we'll see. It looks like he was already hovering above it, so chances are high he will. Shadow Word Pain also coming into his hand.
Too many cards.
Yeah, so many cards. Can't even keep track.
Will he be in time with this play? Like he steals the 2/2, trades it into the 5/3, and then the 2/8 in the 5/3 as well. But he's too late.
It's so sad.
That's so painful as well. Because
so
now,
well thought out, but.
Well, now the Aya lives and the 2/2 lives, and this is so painful because he can trade it away now and.
Yeah, Felmas into Lightning Storm would be a.
Yeah, it would be a board clear.
Yeah.
And that's probably what we're going to see, or not. So many missed goals already.
Yeah, like we're just trying to do whatever we can, and sometimes it works out. Now he does see the Alnas in hand. He's considering it, throwing it up.
He goes for the
Maelstrom.
That's interesting because it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, it would give like another draw for that Acolyte.
Yeah, exactly. So that would be really bad. You might totem first because you're gonna have to totem anyway. Oh, he's going for the Spirit Echo, and then Maelstrom.
That would give him a second Aya as well. So
you get a lot of value, yes, but you don't clear the board and you give you give Sjoesie an extra draw. So I'm not sure if I agree with this play. The Acolyte gets back.
Oh wow. Yeah, then he has to trade it in completely. Just get the Jade Golem back though.
So, wow, a 2-mana 2/2. I'm sure he's really happy with that.
Yeah, well, it's something. Be happy.
But just look at how the game would have turned out if Sjoesie was in time with making that play. If he traded the 2/2 in the 5/1, then he would have had board now. It wouldn't have been cleared, and he could just go ham this turn.
Meanwhile, we see him being held up by a lot of spells, only one minion in hand, and that is Elise the Tailbracer. So, would you throw that out, or would you try to kill something with the Shadow Word Pain? Of course, the Felnas will be brought back, or at least thrown back into the hand.
You could go ham this turn and make a 20/20 Northshire Cleric.
Ooh.
That would be fun.
That would be
I
insane.
don't expect him to do this. He's probably going to heal up his Northshire first, then trade in the Thelnos, and then Shadow Word Pain the 2/1. Or maybe even play the Trailblazer.
Just draw another Acolyte out, so even more draws coming his way in the near future.
And again, Sjoesie taking his sweet time to decide on what to do.
He's really bringing it down to the wire, which is evidently burning up slightly.
So a really good turn for Arneej once again. He can just play Aya, play the Jade Claws, let the Trailblazer live because it doesn't do anything either way, and save your 2/1 as well. It's a very good turn for him. And he has more Jade generators in hand, like 2 more.
Yeah, so now it's actually going all sour. We'll see if you look at the board being built. And now Arneej is preparing his dominance right now we actually had some technical issues, difficulties. I've read in the Twitch chat, but we'll see if that it has been taken care of already, or if it will be.
And here we go.
Oh my
I
God.
totally missed this, but of course the Trailblazer survives. It was a great turn, but yeah, if you have a 40-40 Trailblazer, then that kind of
Jesus.
does damage.
Oh yeah. Well,
And this is the end of the line for Arneej. So it was a very quick game, quicker than I expected. Sjoesie drew a lot and got his combo pieces, got the minion on the board that he needed, and finished the game really quickly. So yeah, that's 1-0 for Sjoesie.
So the combo was in hand, and he already said at the start that the combo would be the scariest part. And well, he just got wrecked by a 40-40. It would be absolutely scary to see that coming at you. Now,
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Sjoesie is the only one playing this deck this night. I also asked him some questions beforehand, and he told me that the decks he likes to play the most are meme decks, which this kind of fits into.
well, I do love my dank memes, and we'll see Arneej sticking on the same deck, whilst Sjoesie is of course forced to change, now having to pick his druid, only that one with the paladin left for him, but he's already one step closer to, well, actually winning the first match of the Hearthstone group stage.
Okay, so now we're going to see a Jade mirror match, and here I would say the druid is slightly favored, because with the druid, with the druid you can ramp, you can cheat mana, and cheating mana is really good.
Cheating means beating, and well,
Exactly.
Sjoesie does have the possibility to innovate and use a Jade Spirit, but I don't think it's actually valuable, so he's just gonna chill it out, do one insane damage and get an armor in return as well.
So the reason you don't innovate a Jade Spirit here is because you don't have follow-up. If you had a 3-drop or like the Jade Blossom, then you would have innovated the Jade Spirit here for sure. But now he's like, okay, I can innovate the Druid of the Claw next turn, then Jade Spirit, then another Jade Spirit. So if I preserve my innovate, I'll have way more options next turn.
It's not like there was any very scary aggression coming out from Arneej early on, just like last game. He was just trying to build up some board using the Manatite Golem and his hero power. Now he's probably going to be stuck on the same thing, unless if he wants to build his Jades earlier on and use the Claw.
Yeah, that's an option. Another option is coin Manatite, because you kind of force Sjoesie to deal with it, and that will mean he will waste another turn. Like if you Wrath, then you only use 2 mana and you can't do anything else. But I think hero power here is just the best option. You discount your thing from below, and you don't really need to hurry up. Okay, an interesting choice.
Possibly to deal with whatever could come.
And there is
next
a Jade Blossom. If he knew he would draw that, then he would definitely have played the Jade Spirit last turn. But, well, that's the thing about card games. You never know what you're going to get.
You can believe, but you cannot know. And now we will see Arneej actually using his coin. He's overloaded from his Claw, of course. And, well, he might throw up the Manatite. Yes, he will. Just to put on something relatively beefy and force Sjoesie to deal with it whilst he trades for some face damage, takes the armor off, and now has the advantage, gets a second Jade Claw as well, just for fancy points.
Okay, so here we might see another Jade Blossom that he picked up, and then into the Wrath on a 0-3. He would buff his Jades to 2-2 and contest the board while dealing with the Manatite. Another option is to play the Druid with the Claw in charge mode, but I think that's rather weak. So yeah, the first option that I thought of, it's the one he's going to go with.
And of course he also gains an empty mana crystal, so that'll bring him into the big boys a bit earlier than Arneej.
Arneej, however, also top decks. He can trade with his weapon and then just play the Jade Spirit on curve, which feels really good.
I have the spectator bug where the Wrath circle is just hanging around and making a beautiful noise constantly.
I'm very happy that I turned off the sounds in Hearthstone ages ago. But I do have the same spectator. Oh well, that's Hearthstone for you. Like, they never even changed the spectator client since the game got released 4 years ago.
Well, then again, you you make sure that they don't probably get any more bugs, hopefully. And if they do, then you have to fix it. But so far, it's just minor nuisances.
So Sjoesie is almost can almost play all of his hand this turn. However, I'm pretty sure he won't do that. He might play double Jade Spirit, even though he plays right into the Lightning Storm then. So I guess Fruit of the Claw hero power. That's pretty good. He really needs to get some draw though. Something like Nourish would be the best to get here. Or of course an Auctioneer.
And we'll see what Arneej throws up. Would you throw on the thing from below just to have the 5/5 beefy boy standing around?
You might play the, what's it called again? Hot Spring Guardian together with the Jade Claws, because with the Jade Claws you can deal with the 4/6. However, the thing from below is really nice on curve and contest the board, and there's no really easy way for the Druid to deal with it. So I think a thing from below is fine. However, it's not the value you want because you actually want to use it while cheaper.
All right.
Yeah. I was thinking of, is there a cute Spirit Echo play to make, but there's not really, because the only thing you'd get back is a Jade Spirit. That's of value.
Hype? No, he doesn't really have the numbers right now to probably do that. But
Arneej thinking long and decides to probably go with the Hot Spring Guardian and the weapon play.
At least he's taking less time than our good friend Fireflam, who kept us waiting a long time in the last, one of the last Hearthstone things that I've casted before. That was also with Martian. That time we were on the same webcam, sitting next to each other, very fancy. But now we're here from both our own rooms, casting this lovely tournament, seeing who will continue and actually go on in the top 4 to the Amsterdam Arena for the playoffs. This year, actually, there's only one final day. It's on the 24th, so all games will be in the same building. And we'll see how it will play out.
That's good to know. So all of you mark 24th of June in your calendar. Well, we see Sjoesie going white on the board. I expected him to swipe here, but this is another option. However, he will get wrecked by Lightning Storm. Like, he has nothing left in his hand. The Innovates are dead cards when you're that high on mana. He didn't draw his Nourish, he didn't draw his Auctioneer, so no card draw at all. And here we see the Lightning Storm ruining Sjoesie's day.
Ruining his dreams even. Almost clearing everything except for the 4/4, who manages to stay alive with only 1 health. Gets taken care of by the Jade Claw. And now Arneej is building more and more board, and the swipe won't do a full clear, of course, as he doesn't have any.
There's the Gadget Sand, finally. This is what he was waiting for. Now he can finally draw some cards. Hopefully some good cards as well. So yeah, double Innovate to draw, and then probably swipe.
Wild Growth.
The Wild Growth is for the next turn. But you can swipe the 3/3 hero power, the 2/1 that's left, and then hopefully your Gadget Sand survives. It's really important that Fire Wild Growth. Yeah, so if his Gadget Sand will survive, which it won't, then this would be really good for Sjoesie. However, we know that there's Jade Lightning in the hand of Arneej.
Yeah, the Feral Rage will give him some armor to work with. Second swipe also comes in, but
no armor for him. He decides to clear the 2/3 with the Feral Rage and protect his Auctioneer like this. So Arneej is forced to use Jade Lightning here, and he knows it. So that's his turn. Summons a 4/4 Golem on the side, pretty good. However, there's the second swipe to deal with this, and the second Auctioneer.
Wow.
This is a very tricky turn, because you have to decide here what you're going to do. You can Auctioneer double Wild Growth, and then just fill your hand up with like 6 new cards, or you can swipe and pass, which is very slow. I guess you just play the Auctioneer and Wild Growth. Maybe only play 1 Wild Growth, but I'd rather see he play 2.
You can't play Wild Growth because you've already used all your mana, right? If you use the Auctioneer to swipe.
Yeah, that's another option. But if he has another Jade Lightning, because he only played one, or a Hex or something, like we see in his hand, or Devolve, like we see in his hand, then he doesn't get the value.
Oh yeah, of course.
He decides to just Wild Growth without the Auctioneer.
And swipe.
This is so smart. Didn't think of this. So from Wild Growth, you get the excess mana cards, right?
Yeah.
Which are cards that draw you a card. And they
Ah.
have 0 mana, so if you just play those with the Auctioneer, you draw 2 cards for 0 mana. That's
He's
really
a
good.
keen man.
However, of course, Arne now knows exactly what's in the hand of Sjoesie. He knows there's an Auctioneer there because there's no way you would make this play otherwise. Yeah, Arne could play Mana Tide, Hero Power thing from below. That's by far the strongest play here. And also pretty much the only option he has.
Yeah, we'll see what he actually goes for. It actually amazes me that he hasn't had so many totems on the board, but now we will change that. Throw on 2 and have the thing from below. Also a lovely extra draw from the Mana Tide. Actually gets a second thing from below.
That's pretty good, especially with Spirit Echo next turn. Okay, so here Sjoesie immediately starts drawing, and there's another draw card actually for him, but I'm pretty sure we won't see that this turn. Yeah, so there we go, just drawing them cards. He knows he won't be able to deal with the 5/5 or the 0/3 this turn, maybe with the the Mana Tide totem if he draws Wrath, but he doesn't. And I guess you play Thelma's Hero Power here. Thelma's for the extra card draw because you don't have swipes anymore, so you don't really need spell power. And the next turn you build more Jades. It's a tricky situation for Sjoesie because he can't deal with the board, and it's really important for Sjoesie to deal with the board here because of the Spirit Echo.
Do you think he still has a chance to come back? Because, well, we're already quite late into the game. Of course, Sjoesie has had a lot of mana crystals for quite some time. Now actually gets another draw and a Jade Idol. And actually stacks up with a 5/5 Jade Golem on the side, but still the board is in the hands or in favor of Arne, and his hand has quite some things to deal with. Sjoesie, would you throw up a thing from below and use Spirit Echo just so you can have 2 more 5/5 taunts for relative low cost?
Probably yes. You probably Hero Power thing from below, Spirit Echo. That's 7 mana, so you float 2. You might devolve, but you probably get a stronger minion back from the by devolving the Gadgetzan, because the Gadgetzan is a 6 mana 4/4, which is a really bad stat line. He can just trade it in. He has already seen both swipes, and it gets healed by the healing totem anyway. So yeah.
It seems like he's already hovering over the thing from below, listening to the best cast of the Benelux.
Then he might not play the Spirit Echo this turn.
Oh, he hexes.
Oh, he does. That's his play. Okay, interesting. I guess you play the Hex here to get tempo, because you know you will be behind too much if he can just develop more Jades, and if he gets to the point where developing more Jades is an option, then you're screwed anyway, being the Shaman player. So he needs to get the tempo now. But we see in the hand of Sjoesie a Primordial Drake which ruins this board. Like Primordial Drake and then Wrath on the thing from below clears everything except for the Mana Tide totem.
Yes, and well, Sjoesie is really thinking long and hard about what to do now. Maybe walking over to his opponent and seeing what he has in hand. If he wants to do so, he can, as they are boot camping right now. Does the 5/2 with a Wrath, which gets a card Wrath from it as well, so might help him out, but it's only a black paw.
So Sjoesie decides to not go for the board here, but instead go for the card draw, and he gets rewarded by drawing Aya, which is by far the best draw he could have gotten. He's seen the Hex last turn, so he knows there's probably no Hex in hand. However, there is a Devolve in hand, which will make the Frog still a Frog, because there's no card cheaper than 0 mana. And he actually gets Lyra from and the Tiger, but there will be another Devolve, which will still let the Frog be a Frog. So there's no way to actually kill the minions, and I hope Arne thought of that.
Actually, he is hovering over the second default and will most likely throw it out. There he goes. So we'll see what the RNG guns have in store right now. A Wisp, a Klexi Ember Weaver, which has no real effect as the Battle Cry can't be thrown out right now, and a Stormwind Knight. So some damage still on the board for Sjoesie, and Arneej is not able to clear it just yet. Let's have his resummon thing from below, and quite some totems to go with it as well.
Sjoesie can actually clear almost everything here with the Primordial Drake. Like trade the 4/5 into one of the 5/5s and then trade 2/5 and a 1/1 Wisp. The other 5/5, Primordial Drake, and then hero power the Mana Tide Totem. That's a full clear. Seems good.
But will he see it?
He definitely
I suppose
sees it.
he will. Because
however, I'm not sure if he agrees that's the strongest play. Looks like he agrees though.
Of course, I wouldn't dare to doubt you.
Well, Sjoesie is a better player than I am, so it wouldn't surprise me if he makes different plays than I do.
Yeah, of course, because of playing the spirit thing, I always forget the name. He does get his thing from below back with a healing totem as well, just to go with it.
Spirit Echo, indeed. Well, yeah, that healing totem will also discount the thing from below, so he could double totem like Mana Tide and healing, free thing from below, and maybe a Hot Spring Guardian to protect something, but
He himself as well in the process.
yeah, all cards in Arneej's hand are not what he's looking for. He's looking for more Jades at the moment. He still has two, what's the card, the 7 mana 5/5 that spawns a Jade with Taunt in his deck, and he really needs it. He also has another Jade Spirit and another Jade Lightning, and Aya as well.
Every time someone says Jade Lightning, I just have to think of Grease Lightning. It just pops into my head. It's so bad. I'm almost embarrassed. I've never actually seen the movie, but because you hear that song so many times, you just start to get used to it. And well, he does pretty much exactly what you say once again. The legend himself, MJ Livian Buurman.
Feels
Knows
good,
what up.
man.
Yeah,
So this is another strong board for Arneej here. Hard to deal with for Sjoesie, however, we see the Earthen Scales, which makes a trade possible in the 5/5. And maybe just spawn Jades, like, yeah, Jade Behemoth seems good. There's no damage on the board from Arneej if you deal with the 5/5. And there is the Jade Chieftain, the card that I mentioned but didn't know the name of. But there it is, Jade Chieftain summons a 5/5 Jade Golem in this case and gives it Taunt. That's really a card that Arneej was looking for.
Yeah, but meanwhile we also see Sjoesie throwing up some big things, clearing the thing from below, and maintaining a board with 2 taunts. Of course, also having 16 armor, quite a decent amount, and a 7/7 Jade for himself.
So as I said a few turns ago, Arneej made a tempo play, like playing the Hex on a 5/5 Golem and trying to preserve his board. However, because of the Primordial Drake, Sjoesie was still able to deal with the board, and this is the result of that. It will be very hard for Arneej to come back from this, because Sjoesie has infinite Jade Golems, and Arneej doesn't.
He can't have everything in life.
I think Sjoesie is quite far ahead at the moment.
And we'll see if he can capitalize on it, if the RNG stays in his favor.
I think Arneej should play the Jade Chieftain and the Spirit Echo with it, so he has another Jade Chieftain in hand. That might give him enough value to close out the game. However, I do doubt if it will be enough.
Well, then he has 6 cards back in his hand. If they all die at the same time, of course, that will most likely not happen. He does have quite a renewable source of cards. Does get a Volcano as well.
That's a good card, however, it's not that good at the moment.
Wow.
Because you have your own board as well, so you don't want to clear your own board. And besides that, the total HP of the board is way more than 15. So if Sjoesie tries to clear the board now, let his minions be on low HP, then the Volcano can be really strong.
I'm out of cards.
And we now see the lovely game of I'm out of cards. But wait, there's more.
Yeah, of course, there's infinitely more in this case. So he will play the Jade Idol without playing the Fenrir, so no free idol for him. However, that must mean that he will play something else, like probably Earth and Scales on something. I'm not sure, I'm not entirely sure why though. Like he might play Earth and Skills on the Jade Behemoth straight in the 2-5-4, but I think getting another 8-8 would be better in this case. However, as I said before, Sjoesie is a better player than I am, so let's not doubt his strategy too much.
Don't be so humble. You have to be very happy and.
So see, now he just hero powers, and I'm pretty sure that playing the Fenrir would have been better here. Oh, and Arne's hand is very full right now, but he's not overdrawing because now it's now that he has 10 cards in hand. The Volcano is very tempting as well here to clear the board and then play, yeah, something like he can't play a Jade together with Volcano.
Nobody can play it safe if Jade Lightning at least clearing one, but then I wouldn't really know what his follow-up would be.
Exactly, a fairly awkward turn for Arne here.
Like the problem is as well, if you use your Volcano and both your totems die, at least one of them will be deleted, because then you'll have the overdraw. So it's actually going to go for the Jade Lightning, throw out something else to go with, or so it seems at least.
So hitting the low HP minion but the high damage minion with the Jade Lightning, playing Glutinous Ooze, which leaves him on 3 HP, so probably the second Hot Spring Guardian as well. Now he saw that Sjoesie had trouble dealing with the first Hot Spring Guardian, has to hero power, spend his mana not very efficiently, and now we see the Fenrir.
Of course, he's smart enough to throw in some Jade Idols just before he's going to draw, because otherwise he'd be damaging himself quite heavily.
And because of the Fenrir, the Nourish gains 2 mana as well as 3 cards, which gives him another 2 Jade Idols. So yeah, this is Sjoesie's turn. However, he will not be able to deal with his board at the moment. But because his HP is high enough, he doesn't have to be afraid of dying anytime soon. He's on 33 HP. It should be fine.
And he's really, really, really building the board right now. Actually has 8 more Jade Idols in his deck right now, 1 in his hand, so it's quite an infinite resource, as we said before. Also still has an Primordial Drake if he wants to clear some low HP minions. Unfortunately for him, Arne's minions are almost all over 2 HP.
Exactly, and this is kind of what I expected going into this match. Like, if the Shaman can't close it out early, as we saw with Arne drawing most of his Jades late in the game, because he still has Aya in his deck as well, which is his most important card, and the Jade Spirit, of course. So that was very unfortunate for Arne, but of course Sjoesie played it out really well, and we'll probably just see more Jades here. Maybe a Primordial Drake if that helps him trade, but it really doesn't. So I guess 2 Jade Idols and Jade Behemoth to fill up the board.
Yeah, just throw out Hamilton as well, just to keep them off your Jade Golems and possibly your face for a little bit longer. Just start stacking it up, making the hugest things you could ever have.
Just look at how strong those Jade Idols get. This is the reason why there are so many people complaining about this deck, because they're like, oh, I want to play control decks, but I can't because Jade Druid just screws me in every way possible. And well, this is how, just infinite Jades, and they're getting stronger and stronger. I think the strongest Jade Golem I've seen was like 15-15. So this should be fairly to the end of the game.
This is really the name of the game for Sjoesie, I think, because last game he won with a Priest and a 40-40 Trailblazer, or Trailgazer. And now he's got a ton of Jade Golems who are absolutely massive. Just standing by to wreak havoc on Arne, who now probably must throw out his Jade Chieftain just to keep it a bit up, but I don't think he can actually survive this round.
There's a combined 25, 32, 33, 40, almost 50 HP for Sjoesie on the board, so Volcano won't do anything either. What you need here is something like Twisting Nether. However, Reno Lock has gone. Warlocks in general are pretty much gone from the game at the moment. So we won't see Twisting Nether anytime soon. And I think for Arneej, this is the time to throw in the towel and accept that he has lost this one and try to win the following 3.
With a reverse sweep like a true possible champ. But he's still thinking, hoping that there is a way to get out. But we don't think it highly likely so far.
Well, last season, these two played as well. In the second week, actually. And Arneej won that one. Well, it was really close. It was 3-2. So maybe Sjoesie has gotten a lot better and is closing this out quicker than last time. But never count out Arneej. He's a really good player. He's actually representing Belgium in the global games. So that, well, Sjoesie isn't. So yeah, here we see the concede, as I called it. Feels good, man.
Of course. But wasn't the country thing, was it also based on popular vote, or was it also an invite?
Well, to get invited, you had to have a certain amount of HCT points, I think. And then it was the popular vote. So like the guy with the most HCT points gets an anchor plate, so he's in for sure, which was Tyler in the Netherlands, and I think Maverick in Belgium. And then the rest of the players could get voted in. So yeah, Arneej got voted in, together with his ex-teammate Chinois and streamer Oliech, and they represent Belgium. However, they haven't been doing too well.
Ooh.
So
the Netherlands has done somewhat better, I think, from what I've read.
Yeah, the Netherlands is up to is 2-1 now in their groups, and they have to play versus Peru next week, I think, or in 2 weeks. So yeah, easy wins for the Netherlands.
Hey, don't count them out just yet. They might actually surprise them with a lot of very cheesy decks.
Okay, so here we kind of have the same situation like last game. This is the last deck for Sjoesie. It's a Paladin. It's a really, really greedy Paladin with Karen Bloodhoof and then very likely Nizoth as well to revive that one. And the Tyrion, of course, which will probably be able to win against the Shaman, because the Shaman is made to beat mid-range decks, I would say. And this is a very heavy control deck from Sjoesie.
And actually he gets an Acolyte of Pain as well, just to get the extra draws. Can't really do a whole lot just yet, because, well, he has a lot of cards he can't play, like the Tyrion, of course. You want that later on in the match, because what's it going to do in your hand? Just stand there pretty.
Yeah,
Unless
well,
if, like, the enemy plays the Dirty Rat, that's the only thing it would help, but I don't really think Arneej will run that in his Shaman.
Okay, so this is a really strong Doomsayer by Sjoesie, because this turn Arneej really wants to play the Jade Spear to get his Jades rolling, but also to develop the board. And Sjoesie just countered that with the Doomsayer. There is no attack on the board, so the chance that Arneej is able to deal with the Doomsayer without a Hex is non-existent. Like the only other thing he could use is Devolve, but as we can see, it's not in Arneej's hand right now. So this turn has been made really awkward for Arneej.
Yeah, and next turn, what would Sjoesie be hoping for to draw? Or would he just pretty much bank on the True Silver Champion just to clear whatever is on the board the turns after?
I think Sjoesie can just play the Acolyte next turn, and Sjoesie doesn't really want to draw anything. Sjoesie's happy as it's going. He just wants to wait, extend the game. The longer the game goes, the better it is for him. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if Sjoesie decides to hero power fast here. Well, he goes for the Acolyte anyway.
More draws, man, because there isn't a spell that can actually, or well, Lightning Storm, but he doesn't. Arneej isn't running any damage spells except for the Jade Lightning that will instantly take out the Acolyte. But then again, you already use one of your Jade Lightnings on one Acolyte of Pain. It's full damage to use, but it's a Jade Golem, so it's something.
Contrary to there's another Elite Trailblazer, by the way. But contrary to last game, where Arneej didn't have the Jade Summoner minions and cards in his hand. He does have quite a few of them this time. Starts with the Jade Claws, then the Jade Lightning, has another Jade Lightning, then the Jade Spirit as follow-up, and then the turn after the Jade Chieftain, which makes his Jades all up to 6/6, I think. So if he draws the Aya next turn, then it will be pretty tough for Sjoesie to stay on the board. However, for this turn, it's all fine. Just play Elise on curve, 5 mana, 5/5. It's not the worst stat line possible. It's not easy for Arneej to deal with it right now. So, well, it is actually. You can play Thelmos into another Jade Lightning.
And then you actually get your second, or actually third, Jade Golem as well. So you're building up those Golems, hoping that they will win the game for you. As you said, he does have a lovely curve next round. Will probably be Jade Chieftain, just to get the taunt on. Or would you first go for the Jade Spirit or something else?
That really depends on what happens here. Sjoesie is banking on Arneej not to have Hex this turn. Like, playing Karen is a really heavy investment because it's a 6 mana minion that doesn't do too much. Oh, that's a good pickup, by the way, by Arneej. I think in this case you will just play the Jade Chieftain and ignore the Karen. Because you don't have Hex.
Miko trade? Nope.
You could also play Jade Spirit, Spirit Echo, but yeah, you only copy 2 minions that are worth it. And the Jade Chieftain will probably not be cleared. So you'd rather Spirit Echo that next turn.
So you can build on Big O with a taunt. Just to change up the game a little bit. He's actually thinking over this round quite carefully. Of course, he's already on the back foot, 2-0 behind. Now, actually want to come back, save his honor. There were some close games, but except for the first one, that was just a massacre with the 40-40 card.
Well, it was pretty close until Arneej decided to let a minion of Sjoesie be alive, and then he got killed.
But Arneej actually deciding to trade in, almost throwing out the Spirit Echo, but luckily recovering and throwing out his Jade Lightning.
He knows that Sjoesie has many board clear possibilities, and he doesn't want to give Sjoesie too much value in that. But this is not bad for Sjoesie actually. He knows that there's no Hex because else he would have Arneej would have played it. So he might even just coin the Tyrion here and trade with the Cairn.
And then we would see the top deck Hex from Arneej. I can already feel it in my guts. Just when you expect, this is going rather well. It's gonna be
Default. That's a really good pickup for Arneej. So it will be a 7 mana minion. Maybe the 5/7 Death Rattle Summon 3 1/1s, maybe the War Golem, which is pretty bad. But this is and the Shield Bearer, which is worse. But this is really bad for Sjoesie because the Tyrion is an important minion to get back with the Nuzlocke in the late game, and now he will never get the Death Rattle. And because the minion didn't die, it won't get resummoned by Nuzlocke. But still, it's a 6/6. Arneej still has to deal with it. He can't play Jade Spirit and Spirit Echo this turn. So it's still rather tricky.
Actually, I was already wondering, would he go for the Maelstrom Portal? Would you do it so you could trade with a Chieftain after you throw out the Spirit Echo? Or no, he's actually gonna build a bit further after he gets the Taunt Totem, Jade Spirit. And I assume he's going face because.
Okay, so this one's tricky because last turn you decided to play around the board clears. So if you wouldn't do it this turn, that would make you quite a hypocrite, right? So you're like, okay, he has board clears in hand, I must play around them. And then the next turn you're like, oh well, I can overextend. He probably doesn't have board clears. That's not right. That's not consistent. So he decides to trade here and will lose the value of the Spirit Echo for next turn. Even though we see that Sjoesie doesn't have equality in his hand, so the most important card to clear the board is not there. And the Vine Cleaver pickup is not that good because the Taunt Totem, which is kind of lucky for Arneej, but he doesn't know that. Fine Cleaver is a card we don't see too much actually in Hearthstone at the moment, but I think it's a really good card. Even before, like when Ungoro got announced and when this card got announced, was like, well, that's a lot of value from one card, so you might play one. And here we see Sjoesie actually playing one.
Consecration going out in True Silver Champion just to clear that beefy, juicy golem. Leaving the Jade Spirit alive. Possible to be echoed, but there's nothing really to go with it as well, so I don't see it happening just yet. Jade Claw probably coming out for the 6/6. Building a bit more board again. Trying to recover from that nasty consecration.
Yeah, so now he doesn't have any Spirit Echo. Well, he does have Spirit Echo value, so even on only 1 minion, it might be worth it to just play the Echo. And of course, he plays the Gluttonous Ooze this turn to destroy the weapon of Sjoesie and gain some armor in the meanwhile.
He's actually going to heal himself.
Yep, and then not play the Spirit Echo this turn. He will play, he won't
Whoa.
clear. Okay, so he decides to not use the value on the weapon, which is kind of weird to me because you already know that there won't be a better weapon to destroy. Oh well, it's this is a lot of value as well, of course, for Arneej.
Yes, well, he does get some board back whilst Sjoesie is struggling to get anything on.
Oh, unless, of course, Sjoesie has told Arneej that he's running the Vine Cleaver, which is a better weapon to destroy for the Gluttonous Ooze, of course.
But then would you tell him, oh wow, these are some very beefy minions that he can discover from.
And I think he will take the cheapest one, because he already has one in his hand, and it synergizes with the N'Zoth that he also runs.
Oh yeah, the Death Rattle.
And it's, yeah, that's what I thought.
Otherwise, the value of the N'Zoth wouldn't be that large because Tyrion also died already.
Exactly, you might play it and then Doomsayer as well to hopefully clear the board. Yep, that's the play he's going to go with, it seems like.
It does give Arneej the possibility then to throw out a 7/7 Jade Golem the turn after. Of course, as his Jade Spirit gets returned to his hand after that. Now he just get it, so he can't really do anything to effectively clear.
But this is still a pretty good turn for Arneej, because the Maelstrom Portal will do everything you need it to. It's a very good card right now, because you can clear the 2/3 with your weapon, the 1/4 with your 3/6, and the Doomsayer with your 6/6. That's a lot of value.
We should then also throw out the Jade Spirit after that.
Yeah, probably, and the Hero Power. That seems good.
Let's see.
So I saw a question in chat, which is for you, is 10 minutes ago because of the delay, about who are in the Dutch Hearthstone Global Games team. And well, there's like Tyler, the anchor, as I said, who got the most HCP points. There's Dyson, which we all know as the best player in the Netherlands. There's Mitsuhide. And then there's that last player that I kind of forgot about, but I think it's Theo. Just kidding, it's Theo.
Yeah, well, and currently we just saw quite a huge clear. Of course, a 2/2 slime coming out of the Death Rattle. I'm always amazed that this card actually has a very little shield to protect slime, because you'd almost think that wouldn't really help. But now we're gonna see what Sjoesie will do. Has got the Euro back.
Playing the back here signals to Arneej that he doesn't have board clear in his hand. That's some pretty good pickups actually. Like the Vine Cleaver is really good, the Sunkeeper Tarim is really good, the Corpse Tower is sort of okay. Yeah, it's sort of okay because you can't really activate it, right? Like when are you going to play 4 cards in one turn as Paladin? All your cards are high mana usually. Oh, and here we will see the Gluttonous Ooze coming out.
Oh yeah. Arneej has been rubbing his hands for a long time just to see when this moment will come. She picks up a second Jade Spirit as well. But first, the Maelstrom Portal. Just to clear everything, or not.
Well, is it worth it? Like, apparently so. You can put Sjoesie on well, how much HP? There's 12 damage on board, so you can put him on 5 HP.
Actually gets a 2-2 out of it with a health resource for both heroes, so I don't think that was the intention, but it is the result.
Oh, and Sjoesie will burn his next card because he has 10 cards in hand, and that might be the equality he so desperately needs. Which also means that he won't. Oh wait, I miscounted. He does get the equality, however, but I miscounted the card. So I thought he had 10 in hand, and it was 9, which makes Sjoesie very happy because he did draw the equality.
And he does get a heal as well from the Mistress of Mixtures. And,
yeah, so we will see Pyromancer equality here, very probably. And then he has 6 mana left, which is probably another Infested Tower and a Hero Power. Or Sherazin and Hero Power, but Sherazin actually does get revived as well, which takes up 2 slots on the board. Because if it dies, it takes up a slot on the board, right? Like you have 7 slots for minions, and Sherazin will take up 1. So if it dies and you can't revive it, you can't ever have more than 6 minions. And if it gets summoned by what's it called? Yeah, Nizalf, thank you. Then you only have 5 spots left, which is not too much.
Rather sad, actually.
Yeah.
And we do see a free thing from below, which is a lovely 5/5 taunt.
Well, we see Arneej being able to make a very large board with the Jade Spirit and the Jade Golem as well, or a second Jade Spirit if he wants to.
Would you go for the Jade Spirit twice? Just to get late save.
Yep. Yeah. Well, if he draws his other equality, he's forced to use it now anyway. Ooh, there's another really good card for him. And he already had 1 in his hand, but now he doesn't have to reveal it. So he will probably Hero Power and then play the Sunkeeper Terrain to be able to trade this board rather efficiently.
Yeah, so we'll actually see if he decides to go. That's most likely the
maybe he won't play the Hero Power and just Tareem and Forbidden Healing because he's going rather low. However, he knows there's no Jade Lightning left anymore, so this is what he decides to go with. And yeah, he plays the Tareem that he picked up, which is correct, because now Arneej thinks, well, that's gone, so I can just go all in now, and there's no reason for me to be afraid of getting another one. But yeah, that will be a surprise for sure. Because you do expect another Tareem. However, you expect it from the Stonehill Defender that creates a taunt for you. And we already saw the card from the Stonehill Defender, which was the second Infested Tauren. So he's like, okay, there's no way he has another Sunkeeper Tareem in his head, except if he gets it from the pack. But the chance is so low that you don't play around it. This might be a Volcano turn, by the way.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, would you Volcano here? Because, well, I don't really see a turn coming soon what they will do, or when it will come around, and will be of value. And if you trade in your free freeze, you might be able to clear everything. Throw out your thing from below right after. Probably follow it up with a Jade Spirit.
And the thing from below as well. So yeah, this is like the second all-in that he goes for. And now he gets really screwed by 2 super cheap Flame Elementals, Hero Power, and then the second Sunkeeper Tareem. I'm pretty sure that's the play that Sjoesie's gonna go with.
Heartbreaking. Like, Arneej has been playing rather well, and then Sjoesie just has an answer for pretty much everything.
Well, and that's kind of the choice that Sjoesie made. Sjoesie was like, okay, so if Arneej brings mid-range decks, then I will bring super heavy control decks just to outvalue him, and he won't be able to rush me, and so then I win. And Arneej has the most greedy mid-range deck, like the Shaman is good at creating Jade, so he will outvalue most other control decks or mid-range decks, but Sjoesie's decks are so greedy that yeah, that he just can't win with these decks.
When actually a hex coming out, probably going to be thrown down on the 3/7, or would you keep it in hand?
So I was like, well, why did Sjoesie heal here? He didn't need to because he knows that both Jade Lightnings are gone and there is no other direct damage in Arneej's deck. But with the hex, no, that still would only be 9 damage because you have to clear the frog as well. So he didn't have to heal, but he's like, well, I won already, but just to be safe, if there is something really weird, if maybe Arneej does play lightning bolts, then I will heal this turn. But
So,
this is very tricky for Arneej.
Will the silly old Murloc Druid come through? Currently doesn't seem like that, but Sjoesie does have a lot of high mana cards. And a second Fine Creeper as well. He got it from the package, right? The second Fine Creeper.
Yeah, he did.
Ooh, and another taunt as well, so just more and more stuff coming down.
Yeah, so Arneej has no cards in his hand anymore, and which makes Sjoesie sure to play Ragnaros here, because there's no way Arneej can deal with it unless he top decks the second hex, but that's not very likely. It's only a 1 in 10 chance. And even if he top decks the hex, then it's probably not enough. That's a better top deck though, because this gives him a 9/9 Jade.
With taunt and of course a 5/5 to go with it.
This might actually be enough. Unless Sjoesie plays a Stonehill Defender, gets another equality. Oh, well, he doesn't have to follow up, right? Like he doesn't have Pyromancer, he doesn't have a Consecrate. So maybe Stonehill Defender into the third Sunkeeper Tareem. That would be great. However, maybe this was the draw that Arneej needed to close out the game. Like, it's so much power, like 14 power in one draw. That's insane.
So yeah, he's thinking around, can I survive another turn? Because lethal is on the board for Arneej, unless if he manages to, well, most likely discover a very nice taunt minion. There it comes. Oh, there, good possibility.
It's just a Gastropod.
Lovely.
Gastropod hype. Okay, so the Psychotron is probably going to be picked because it takes 2 hits instead of 1. And yeah, exactly. And hero power. And just hope you survive. No AoE must be drawn. But don't think there's any AoE left in the
Lightning bolt, right? Still has one, I think.
Oh yeah, he still has a lightning storm. Yeah, that's true.
A lightning storm. I'm always confusing myself, saying wrong things. But he actually gets the Hot Spring Guardian, so it's not what he wanted, but it is what he got. Now he's probably going to see.
Trade. Still have
Jade?
Yeah, Jade. There's not much to do for Arneej this turn. He just has to make the logical trades, and yeah, like trade with the 3/6 and the 3/4. Don't throw away your 3/3 because it's more valuable than that. And the 5/5 in the 3/4, the 9/9 in the 1/4, or the 9/9 in the 3/4 and the 5/5 in the 1/4, and then the 3/3 into the 1/1. That's way too much numbers to say in this.
Yeah, it's just like, whoa, so many numbers I can't even keep track.
I wish I had a third one. But this is the way he should have played it, because now he can heal up the Jade Golem and make it unreachable for the Ragnaros Lightlord once again.
Yes, and
so now
extra
Consec
taunt as well.
Never Pyromancer, never Consec. He still has 1 Consec and 1 Pyromancer, and this might be game.
I don't see anything how we can hold off the lethal.
How much damage is there on board? It's only 22 damage, so the Ragnaros Lightlord will heal him to 26.
Oh yeah, of course. I was forgetting the lovely heal.
So I think you play the Vine Cleaver here, and then with the Gluttonous Ooze or something. It's not great, but you already saw 2 Jade Claws and you know that Arneej is only running 2 weapons. What surprises me is that we still didn't see the IF from Arneej, so maybe he does not run
It's
it.
actually equality right now, just so he can clear the 9-1, then heal up to 18 HP. Well, I can understand, because otherwise it's still the 9-9 that you can't really deal with. Throwing. Oh, the Spirit Echo.
That's
huge.
Pretty good.
I think with the Jade Chieftain, can
Why
now have 10.
did he put Hero Power here? He shouldn't have. Because if he didn't Hero Power, he could have played the Jade Chieftain again this turn. Like Jade Spirit, trade, play it again, and just win.
Yeah, maybe he forgot, or maybe it was not in his playbook right now. He also does have a 3-1 Jade Golem, which is actually an 8/8, so could have also traded that one in and throw it out next turn, but he's keeping it on the board.
And more taunts for Sjoesie, keeping him alive.
The Dream, Divine Shield as well. And he actually gets healed by that card, so even though his Ragnaros is gone, he still has the ability to...
Sjoesie is thinking of playing Hammett to make sure that he gets the Nuzlocke very quickly, because there's not too many expensive cards left in his deck. And the Hammett destroys all cards in your deck that cost 3 or less. So that's like the Acolyte, the second Acolyte will be gone, the second White Pyromancer will be gone, but that doesn't matter because you don't have equality anyway.
Didn't he already use 2 Acolytes?
No, he only used 1, according to my deck tracker.
I don't have those fancy technology things you have, so I was thinking he only used, they already used 2. But now Sjoesie is throwing out 2 more Silver Hand Recoups, which are actually in the golden form this time around. Crowd, 1 Dawn will throw out actually the Sheriff's
in Corpse Flower. I guess to create more damage on the board to deal with the huge taunt that will come out of the Jade Chieftain.
Yeah, and maybe already to have an extra 5/3 when he gets his Nuzz off, which is still in one of the 9 cards that is in his hand, in his deck. So that will actually be confusing.
But this will probably, it looks like we will go to 1 more game.
We've called that a few times already.
Yeah, I should stop calling games already.
Oh, like, it keeps us on edge if they come back by lovely top decks and sometimes a little bit more RNG. So we'll see a little bit of clearing coming out from Arneej. Gets his Searing Totem back, of course. And still no Nuzz off, but actually a spike-ridged steed, which is rather strong.
Is it good enough though? Because you can't use it, well, you can use it to deal with the 10-10, which I guess is pretty good, but then you're still on 10 HP. So you play the Spike Ridge Steed on something, you suicide the something into the 10-10 together with 2 other minions. Yeah, you get a taunt from it as well, of course. So.
Yeah.
Staying alive.
And now he does have the extra Death Rattle card ready for his Nuzz off. Unfortunately, his Tyrion was taken out roughly 2 years ago in this game. So that won't be resummoned. Take some extra face damage now on only 5 HP. Let's try out a second taunt, which it will heal him only a little bit.
But it doesn't matter because how much HP you're on, because there's no direct damage left in Arneej's deck. There's 2 Jade Lightnings, 2 Jade Claws, both gone.
It does still have a very juicy Jade Golem. Does have some heals as well, and he is still on full health. So the game is not over, but he only has 5 more cards in his deck. So time is actually running out. Currently, I just see you glancing around to smile at your brother.
Yeah, who actually got me food, which I can't eat just right. So I kind of hoping.
He's probably just eating one fry in front of you, like,
Yeah, something like that. Okay, so yeah, we'll see Arneej deciding what to do. I think he will play the Jade Golem and Hero Power here, maybe just play his the two totems in his hand.
And he actually goes for a very new one. Probably because he wants 2 taunts. Get all the taunts, MJ.
So we see Sjoesie healing up bit by bit, and that's another useless card.
After he already used his equality.
So he might see the Hammett this turn. Because he really needs to draw that Nazoth. If he gets that, then he's probably golden.
Yeah, he's really on the back foot right now. Because like he has 7 HP. If he has to use the Hammett, some of his cards are gone. So he's really close to fatigue as well. So he's really in the danger zone right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not sure if he runs another Forbidden Healing. I think he doesn't. He only runs one, and he used it already. Which is he could have not used it, as I suggested, and then he would still have had it now. It's kind of weird how things like that come back at the end of a game.
And they're actually the end comes out. How many did he destroy? 3 cards.
He lost 3 cards, yeah.
Which ones is those were we are
okay,
on?
That might be really good right now. However, it's how much power is there on board? Like 6, 8, 11, 14, 22, too much. So Volcano probably will kill everything except for the Jade Golem and maybe the Hammett.
So that's unfortunate because then if the Hammett survives, you still have a very strong minion on the board for Sjoesie. But you do know that Sjoesie has pretty much nothing in his hand. Problem is that Arneej has not a whole lot more 3 totems, one of which is one to draw.
I would probably go for the Volcano here, actually.
Yeah, but wouldn't you throw the Mana Tide totem in first, just so you can actually lose that one as well?
No, that would be really bad.
Yeah, but like...
you should better just not play it.
Yeah, that's true. Now he's just throwing his thing full of totems.
What a game this is. It's been such a late game. And there's only 4 cards left, so it's a 1 that was a great sentence. It's a 1 in 4 chance for him to get the... Oh, that's not the card he took. However, it's a really good draw. Because it allows him to deal with the Jade Golem. And with the Pyromancer, you actually get more value. Because then you can keep your Wicker Flame alive. Decides not to go for that.
What other value are you going to get
I think you should Pyromancer here.
Yeah, because he heal 1. So that's something.
Pyromancer Cossack clears, puts the Jinju Water Speaker on 3 HP, which makes it a target for the Gluttonous Ooze.
Maybe he wants to keep the Mana Tide Totem alive to force Arneej into earlier fatigue.
That's another option, yeah.
I think that's actually because otherwise you won't really clear anything extra except for, of course, like you said, the Water Speaker. But like I think that's his internal struggle right now. Do I want him to go into fatigue? Yes. How am I going to do it? Not kill that thing. I was actually gonna trade in 2 cards just to get them.
Okay, so there's probably still Aya left in Arneej's deck, which is his key card, and there's another Hex, and apparently another Devolve, which doesn't do jack shit right now.
It's actually going to be very scary if he keeps it and then the Nazoth comes up and he just destroys everything, or he's actually going to buff everything by RNG, or at least buff some things. We'll see how it will turn out. First, Arneej is going to throw up a very cheap totem or 2. Like, he's actually gonna end turn, gets his Aya.
There is the Aya, finally, and that's not the Nazoth that that Sjoesie was looking for. So it's still a 1 in 2 chance for him to draw the Nazoth. And I'm pretty sure he'll keep the mana tide alive.
Yeah, well, like he can't even trade in his Silverhand Recruit as well, and I think that's pretty heartbreaking. Of course, he will keep the mana tide alive because then, unless if Arneej volcanoes
Or runs Bloodlust.
or runs Bloodlust, which as he has only one card left, could be the 1 in 30 chance, or at least the 1 in 30 card, but I don't really sense it likely. So
This is really tricky.
Sjoesie, would you want to heal him, being him right now? Use that True Silver.
Oh, it's so hard.
He does throw it out, of course, because what else are you going to do with the mana? Oh, it's a Hex.
Yeah, that was it. I should have known that, by the way. He still had an hex. He still had a hex left. We're really likely to see Aya here spawning that 11/11 Jade Golem, and then it's what's
Hero
it called?
Power. Maybe.
No, it's Nazothar Bust for Sjoesie. What will the other card left in his deck is probably Spike Ridge Steed, so that might also be enough to survive another turn to get the Nazoth and then get many tons left.
Well then, yeah, because Arneej would not have enough. Wait, if it's Spike Ridge, then wouldn't Arneej be able to Hex, and then?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh no, wait. Of course, Aya will die, so we can't trade with that one next turn if Dawn comes in. But here comes the Lightning Storm, which if Nazoth is drawn.
Oh yeah, so Nazoth. Even Nazoth might not be enough with the Devolve in his hand.
I'm almost out of cards.
It's first fatigue, and he's still off. Oh,
It's Leon,
no.
That's not good enough.
Well played.
That's GG.
That's G. And at the end of this very long game is a cold meal for me and another game in this series because Arneej picks up the 1-2. And let's continue to the fourth game in this series.
We've actually been at it for at least an hour now, so they're actually giving us a run for our money. And we'll see what Arneej chooses to go with. Of course, he has a Druid and Mage left after his Rogue was banned. And Sjoesie is stuck on his Paladin when his Rogue was also banned, and he already one of his Priest and Druid. The match after this will be slightly later than the usual 8 o'clock, or, well, we already started earlier. That is because of the remembrance of the dead. And
sounds less serious than it is.
Yeah, it sounds less serious, but because of respectful moments that we have to, partake in. Well, we don't have to, but we choose to. We will take a little break, and we'll be back just after 8 o'clock to go with the second match, which will be Dutch Boy versus Nara.
But first, we have the fourth game in this series, which is a Mage or a Druid for Arneej, because he finally picked up the win with his Shaman. And Druid will probably be Jade Druid. Well, Mage will probably be Control Mage with the Medivh and stuff. So both are not the best matchups for Sjoesie.
Oh, so you actually say that Arneej has a chance?
Arneej still really does have a chance. And I think I'll have to microwave my wheel. Feels bad, man.
I probably have to do the same.
Is it just me, or has the game not started yet?
I also do not see a game just yet.
Feels bad, man.
Feels bad, man. Maybe they just ran away to have some food. Mom was screaming up the stairs, "Sjoesie, Arneej, get your food right now!"
Exactly. But well, they're still on preparing to battle the friend, so yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't pick it yet. Not really sure what we're waiting for.
No, I'm actually not. Can you ask?
Maybe it's really tough for Arneej to choose between his Mage and his Druid, but it shouldn't be.
No, it
that
shouldn't matter. Because,
No.
like, you have to win with both either way, so what's it gonna matter? Just play whatever you just want to.
Yeah,
Is it-
that's kind of true, but there is some strategy around playing from behind in a conquest match, because what I usually do is play the matchup that is most favored for me, because when I win, I'll have the mental advantage and be able to close the match out as well, because I've won 2 games
Oh,
already. And Arne
there we
has
go.
picked a deck, so we can go back into the game again.
Indeed, and he has chosen the druid.
Yeah, which I think is the better
My hammer burns with
Uh,
holy fire.
match for Arne, because it has infinite druids, and against control decks we already learned that that's pretty good. But this will undoubtedly be another long match.
Let's hope it might not turn out like that, because we might still have another one going on after this one. And our lovely stomachs are rumbling. Of course, we do like tight matches, but you can
We
always,
also like to.
you can
Nah,
exaggerate.
they can take the time. They can take all the time they want.
Indeed, and
So here we have a really good start by Arne. Wild Growth into Jade Blossom. Into maybe Fenril if he picks up the Nourish, or a Tar Creeper, which is strong as well. However, Sjoesie also has a pretty good hand. Will be able to trade his Dude away and probably play the Wicker Flame next turn. I do expect to see the Jade Blossom here, by the way, instead of the Jade Creeper. Yep. You always want to ram.
yeah, and he knows from last game that there is a Doomsayer, so like maybe Sjoesie would throw it out just to counter some early pressure. Now we see that Sjoesie's building up some board with a Wicker Flame, having a Taunt and a Divine Shield already on the board.
So I think we will see a Tar Creeper hero power here, and then hit the Divine Shield, which makes it kind of awkward for Sjoesie, because he then has to trade away his Wicker Flame. And next turn we could see Gadgets and Innervate or something, because Sjoesie won't be able to develop a board. However, the True Silver does contest the Auctioneer, so probably no Auctioneer next turn if we see the True Silver. But in Arne's mind, this is a good play, and it is.
You're almost saying
just-
it as if he's in his own world, living around and seeing what is possible.
Aren't we all living in our own world?
I am. But of course, the Tar Creeper does get +2 attack during the opponent's turn, which makes it a slightly more scary force to deal with. And
But also a force you don't really have to deal with. You can just let it be alive. It doesn't do anything.
until you want to go some more.
Maybe swipe this turn and hero power in the 2/2, and then just pass. You won't get really good swipes this matchup, except in the late game against the, what's it called? The Vine Cleaver, which spawns the 1/1s.
There she comes the Fenril Stack Helm. Has been thrown out. It's a future investment. And he actually takes some damage on the Tar Creeper. As well,
So-
just to get away with that.
So
boomers.
Fenril is a really high priority target for Sjoesie to deal with, because he knows there might be a Nourish in hand for Arne, and if you get a Nourish elf with the Fenril on board, then it will be really hard to win against a Druid. So how can Sjoesie deal with this Fenril this turn? Well, short answer is he can't.
So he's working ahead and throwing out the Doomsayer, but
Exactly.
of course Arne can try to deal with that, especially with the Feral Rage now as well.
So what would be the best way? You would have to use both Swipe and Feral Rage this turn to deal with the Doomsayer. You can just Feral Rage the 2/3 and then swipe on the Doomsayer. However, that does show Arne that there is no, what's it called, Nourish in hand. And another thing is that you still give Sjoesie the board advantage. Or almost.
Yeah, but then again,
No, it's
you
fine.
but you can always draw another Nourish, so just because you don't have it this turn does not mean you can't have it next turn. And I think Sjoesie will still be slightly scared of the Fenril Stack Helm. But we do see the clear coming out because he doesn't want to give it up that easily. Sjoesie has to invest even more to clear it.
Yeah, so this is a full board clear as we expected. And we will probably see the Cairn from Sjoesie now. Nice on curve. He can't deal with the Fenrir anyway, so have to make the best of a bad situation. He knows there's no nourish in hand anyway. You could
Well,
also you can deal with the Fenrir, but it's too expensive.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you can use Equality Consecrate, but you don't want to do that just yet. You want to keep those cards in the possibility there is a Auctioneer and maybe some very beefy golems.
So the good thing for Sjoesie in this game is that Arneej didn't draw many Jade generators. Aya is one of the first, like the second. Which is good for Sjoesie because now he still has a chance to get on the board and win on tempo. However, his deck is not a deck that wins on tempo. So this, yeah, as we said before, this is a tricky situation for Sjoesie to be in, even if it looks fairly good for him right now.
Would you throw out Aya and then maybe buff the Fendrel with the Earth and Skills? Or would you keep that for using it with the Auctioneer next turn?
I would definitely keep the Earthen Skills for the Auctioneer. You can just play it like this. The Consecration will do work this turn. The Consecration is less integral. What's the needed for Sjoesie than the Equality, because the Equality also gets clears the board with the Pyromancer, as we see here. So you can just Consecrate and then trade the Cairn into the 3/5, spawn a dude. That's probably what he's going to do.
Unfortunately, there will be a Jade on the board, though, a 3/3, but it's not the biggest concern, as Sjoesie, of course, will get a 4/5 Bane Bloodhoof.
No, there's the 4/4 survives because you trade in the Fendrel, and the Aya survives as well. So you have a 4/1 at the end, and Arne has a 5/1.
Options.
If you just
I thought you said with the Pyromancer, but
oh no, you don't. No. You want to combo the Equality with the Pyromancer.
all right. Well, if you say so, I believe you.
Apparently, Sjoesie believes me as well because that's a play he's making.
You're saying he's better than you, but actually you have the same mind, it seems. So yeah, we'll actually see. We'll actually Forbidden Healing again. For 2 this time. Why is he throwing that out so early every time? Oh, he's actually healing his Bloodhoof.
Against the hero power, I suppose.
Yes. Ooh,
Because
Barnes.
else Arne could have hit with the hero power on the 4/1 and then trade with the Aya into the Blaine. But in this case, he couldn't.
Actually, a lot of juicy cards coming out for Arne. After he now has a very drawing turn. Doubting if he should buff Aya or his Auctioneer. Actually goes for the Auctioneer because Bloodhoof could always still trade into Aya.
And with the hero power, you can kill the 1/1, so it's not an easy clear for Sjoesie on the Auctioneer. So why does Arne play Barnes?
Why would he?
There's because he also plays Burgly Bully, right? Or yeah,
Yes.
that's interesting.
What does he get?
Another
Auctioneer.
Auctioneer, which is usually what you want, but in this case, it's not that good.
No, because he already used his spell just before, otherwise he would
Exactly.
have had another card.
Oh wow, this turn though, you really want to use your Pyromancer here, but there's no other spell to use it with except for the Equality, which is pretty bad.
I'm currently being flamed in the chat as well. As I deserve to be. Arch Enemy actually asking myself, or asking the chat that if I actually had knowledge about Hearthstone because he thought I hadn't. But as a lot of people don't know, I actually started off casting Hearthstone a long time back. But let's focus on the game again, as there are now 2 Equalities in hand for Sjoesie. one being used with the Pyromancer and the True Silver also coming out. So using a lot of cards, but also getting a lot of clear.
As I said last game, but then the roles were reversed. Arneej had to get on the board and win against Sjoesie in the with pressure. However, this time Sjoesie has to win with the pressure, while Arneej can just lay back and relax, wait for the late game. Because that's already late game since they're on 10 mana or 8 mana in Sjoesie's case.
Arneej's case, you mean?
8 mana in Sjoesie's case.
Yeah, he said 10. Just trying to keep you sharp, man. I know food is lurking around and the smells are getting to you.
It smells so good.
We gotta stay focused.
Arneej picked up his first Jade Idol, which means he can just create a Jade with it. Well, the second Jade Idol will be used to shuffle more Jades into his deck.
Which we've seen Sjoesie do quite well on this Druid game.
Time waits for no one.
Eventually winning it because of it. And now we do see the Tall Creeper and the Burgley Bully and a Jade Idol. Just to finish it all off. Gets a full 4 just to build those stacks a bit more. With an Elder Peacekeeper coming out. That doesn't have effect on the Tar Creeper, right?
It does, I believe. It shouldn't, in my opinion, but it does.
I
can't
think
help
it
it.
shouldn't, right? It's so weird.
But it does. Like, I agree with you, but still.
In my brain, it doesn't work, but apparently in reality, it does.
Ah.
It's actually a lay on hand coming out. That means a coin for Arneej, the Fine Keeper in hand, and another Consecration, actually. We do see the Tar Creeper being cleared out, Swipe being picked up by Arneej, but nothing much else in his hand right now.
Yeah, that's not the card you're looking for at the moment. You just want more Jade Generators, more card draw. Something like a Auctioneer would be great.
Yeah, well, you can't always get what you want. We do know there's another Auctioneer in the deck of Arneej, of course, because we saw it being spawned by Bonds. But it might be far away, it might be close, we don't know. So we're just waiting for Arneej to make his move, considering all tons of options that he does have. Kappa.
So if this gets to 2-2, I think we'll take a break until after the remembrance moment has passed.
Yeah, because looking at how these games have been playing out so far.
Exactly.
Might take quite some time, and I don't know what kind of mage Arneej is running, but
it's probably control mage, so it's probably rather slow, and will again take its sweet time. But that's only, of course, if Arneej wins this game, and it looks like Sjoesie has a rather good position at the moment, right?
Yeah, he does have a clear, he does have a heal, and he can throw out some extra dudes with his Fine Cleaver.
On the other hand, last game, I
had a good position
like
as well.
4 times, and then Arneej still won. Oh, that's a really important card for Arneej to pick up here. And Sjoesie will probably be pretty disappointed to see it. And that's another really important card to pick
That's
up.
a card.
That's definitely a card.
But he's gonna have to keep it until next turn, but 2 Burgley Bullies on the board right now, so that might actually throw in some extra coins if Sjoesie decides to clear with a spell. But
so that's what I don't think he will clear with the spell.
he has enough health, right?
I think he'll just equip the Vine Cleaver and trade in the 4/4, trade the 8/8 in the 4/6.
Yeah, because, well, it would be very unfortunate if Arneej now gets a lot of free coins ready to destroy whatever lays on his path.
And probably maybe even Aldor, the other dude, to make sure that his Ragnarok survives another turn.
Yeah, I could agree with that decision. Now we see the first trade, Fine Cleaver coming out just to take care of the 4/4 dude, and indeed the Aldor to make that stupid bully not bully you anymore. Or at least, well, its presence haunts you with the possible coin coming out, and actually Ragnar's healing himself, which isn't
That's
really
fine.
what. Yeah, but you would have preferred probably your own health, right?
No, because you're not afraid of dying. You're afraid of your board dying because you need to have the tempo. The tempo is most important in this matchup. And that's a pretty good pickup, by the way, for Arneej. However, he does want to get going with the gadget sen as well. But since the Jade Behemoth makes board for you, I think it's better in this case. Also, Arneej already played 2 strikes, right?
Yes, yes.
So all the minions that that Sjoesie gets now, even if he qualities them, are tough to be cleared.
But there is a lovely buff coming out with a Spiker-rich steed. It won't really do much as of yet because, well, with you both dodge your Ragnar's probably not. And the other one.
Maybe you will.
No, he's actually
Because there's no
throw them.
silence in the deck of Sjoesie. Or of Arneej. And this is better though. Like now you can clear the board. You have a really strong board as well. You still have equality consecration. And I dare say this is looking good for Sjoesie. However,
Would you say it again and use the cast's curse upon him?
yeah,
There were a lot of draws actually coming out. Jade Idols being stacked into the deck once again. As they're supposed
there's still
to.
some non-Jade Idol cards in his deck.
And they're an Ancient of War.
But this is
Right.
so bad for him. Like he really needs those Jade Idols, but he just can't find them, and now he has to hero power. Well, at least he at least gets one.
And possibly a second.
And there's
Yes,
the other
there
one.
it
Oh
is.
wow! So
Well, I think
sometimes lucky.
Well, most of the cards in this deck are actually Jade Idols right now. I think all
Yeah,
of them
exactly. So, but to draw
are. Now
none of
all of them are Jade,
Jade
Idols.
Idols. Okay.
All 4 of them.
How
I
much
think.
damage is this? This is 13, 14, 15, 17, 21 damage. So he's with the consecration. He's 4 off.
Feels bad, man, if you would have had the lovely legendary that buffs, which they might have, of course, forgot it as well. He would have been able to do some stuff with his dude. But now he just clears a little bit, takes some damage, catches it out of the play. So it might come to haunt him otherwise. And now he's wondering what to do. Tyrion coming out after one dude sacrificed himself to greater good.
Yeah. He goes face with the rest.
There's 3 tons, there's not much Arneej can throw in to actually get rid of those and even a face heal. So it's a very healthy situation for Sjoesie. Yeah,
Wow.
face and situation.
This is a tough turn for Arneej. So last turn it was pretty much a setup turn for this one, and he was lucky that he got both Jade Idols exactly at the
Right
end. So now he can clear something else, Feral Rage, and maybe still die.
He's building up the tension, thinking about all the things he might have done differently, for which I am not the person to say if there were any. Because I'm a very big fan of calling misplays, but then I have to be sure, otherwise Martian is actually going to flame me. And I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, that will probably happen quite a lot, even this evening. So what is Arneej going to do? It's a really tough situation, but he has to be quick now because the rope is burning down quickly as well. And he decides to bring up his taunt and clear the Tyrion. However, this also means that he is dead.
Yeah, like there's still so much to go around, and if he would have
Okay, he's
cleared
just
the
dead.
Tyrion- yeah.
So this means that Sjoesie actually won in time for our break. And wins the first match of the ESL Summer 2017, Spring 2017
Summer season, if they
Benelux season.
Yeah.
So he won the very first match of this season, and Arneej will have to try again next week. This is all for now. I think we're going on a break for a moment until the remembrance of the fallen has passed. And then we'll be back with what matches next?
Actually, LB Dutch Boy versus Nara, so we'll see if LB Dutch Boy can keep going for Sector 1. And of course, before we go out, a little shout out to our sponsors who are making this event possible: MediaMarkt, Median, and of course Logitech G. And we'll be back just a bit after 8, after you've been silent and think about what other people have done in the past. And thank you very much for watching. We'll see you then. Goodbye.
See you soon. Goodbye.
Wasting